Hey y'all, Grandma Rose here. I am making pie crust today. I made little hand pies last week using pie crust that I already had in my refrigerator. But I used that up, and I need to make some more today because the event that I'm taking this to is tomorrow, and it's time for me to make some more pie crust. So I'm going to take you along because this is so easy. I will call it as easy as 1, 2, 3. That's going to be the name of my recipe. Pie crust as easy as 1, 2, 3. And we're going to see why that's called that. Well, in fact, I might as well tell you why I call it that. Because the recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of flour, and 2/3 cups of shortening. I'm using lard, and that's it, and water. Well, I guess we could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I don't have a 4 in there. 5 tablespoons of cold water. Now what I have done, you can see here, right there, is I have a 2-cup measuring cup with 1 1/3 cups of ice cold water in it. I put some ice cubes and filled it up with tap water, so that water is very, very cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lard, which I keep in my refrigerator, and that up to the 2-cup level, and that way I will know that I have 2/3 of a cup of lard. Easiest way to measure it, and you don't really mess up a cup. I do have my little 1/3 cup measuring cup here, just because. But we're going to do it this way because it's actually easier. And then after that's over, I'm going to use this ice cold water to make the pie crust, so I don't even have to go to the sink. The first recipe that I had for pie crust said it's 1, 2, 3, go to the sink. Same thing, except I don't have to go to the sink because I've already got my cold water here. So let me scoop out some lard. Right there. Come on in there. I think I'm going to need a metal spoon. The spatula's not working, so let me reach in here in this drawer. It's right below here and get a spoon. That'll make it easier. Put that down because I will need that in a minute. Not quite. That's it. I've got about 1/3 of a cup. Let's get some more in here. That is almost exactly right. Let me get just a little bit more, and I think we're going to call that enough. I think this is one of those things that you don't have to be precise. Really, really close, but not precise. So there's my, a little bit more. Not quite. I'm being precise, as you see. Put that over there in that water right there. Okay, I got it. So that's 2/3 of a cup of shortening, or 2/3 of a cup of lard. Put this back in the refrigerator. Wait a minute. So I'm using my food processor. This is what makes it so easy. So I've got 2 cups of flour measured out, and I store this in my freezer. Well, what I did is I bought 25 pounds of flour, and rather than store it in my pantry, I decided to store that in my freezer. So I fill up my canister, and then what's left over goes back in the freezer. So here's the teaspoon of salt. Put that in there. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to put this in my food processor, and I'm going to pulse this just for a second. Just a little bit, just to mix that salt in. And if there's any lumps in the flour, that'll work out the lumps in the flour. So that's all there is to that. And now I'll put this lard in here. And most of the water is going to come out, but if there's a little bit of water left in there, it's not going to hurt anything. A few drops maybe, but that's not going to hurt a thing. Some more right there, and there's the rest of it. So there's all the lard I'm going to put in. And yes, there's a little bit of cleaning up on this measuring cup, but not much. So we'll put that in there and zap it some more. Pulse it some more. The idea is to make the flour and the lard come together to a texture of about coarse cornmeal. So I'm putting my hand over this so the flour won't fly out. I do have the top to it, but there's no point in using it because I'm going to be dribbling the water in here in a minute. So I'm going to pulse that. See how it comes up? Let's see what that looks like. It's still a little coarse. There's still pea size in here. I wanted a little bit finer than that. Let's try this now. Yeah, that's more like it. That's what I want it to be like. Just crumbly. Little pieces of lard in there, but not big pieces. Okay, now the next thing is the cold water. 5 tablespoons of cold water. And what you do, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out of here and put this in this little cup. So I'm going to tilt the measuring cup. I don't know if you can see this. Just tilt the measuring cup and put 5 tablespoons in here. 1. You know, I don't think it's going to take 5 tablespoons in that 3rd cup measure. So I'm going to put 1 in there. That's 5. Put back in here. Now, while this is running full speed, well, I'm just going to dribble. And we're going to stop when it comes together. It's almost there. Let me stop this. Something's going on here. A little bit more. Wasn't anywhere close to 5 tablespoons, so then I'm going to put that back in here just a little bit more. And that's it. That's all there is to it. See how it has come together into a ball and it's coming around the food processor? That's done. And stop it and your pie dough's done. That's it. That's how easy this is. So we'll make pie dough as easy as 1, 2, 3. That's it, y'all. Get it out of the bowl, put it in the refrigerator to rest for a while, and you're done. No muss, no fuss. I love it. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, y'all, I have just a little bit of cleaning up to do. And I've got the pie crust out of the container. You didn't need to watch me scraping the sides of the dish, of the container, my food processor container. So I'm just wrapping it in plastic wrap. And pat it down a little bit into just a little ball like that. And it's going in the refrigerator. It needs to rest for about a half hour before you work with it. And then it's pie crust. You do whatever you need to do with pie crust. For me, I am going to cut it in half and roll each half of it out and cut it into little 3.5 to 4 inch circles. And I will make my little hand pies to take to my event tomorrow. So bye, y'all. Have fun making pie crust. This is the easiest way in the world to make it. And if you have a food processor, there's no reason to do it any other way. So bye, y'all. See you next time.